Hello, Internet. At least those parts of the Internet that are interested in miniatures and miniature painting. This is Dakian coming to you with another Monday Miniatures Ramble. This one from Monday the 28th of September 2020. Last episode of this month. And everything I finished this week, past week, can fit into this one shot. So you can see that we have a few pirates. One with a chest of loot, toasting his success in wine. There's a bottle of wine there. One swashbuckling guy with an open shirt and a gold medallion, getting ready to chop somebody with his hanger. And this guy, who I have painted multiple copies of before, 2 of them in bones and 1 in metal. I'm not sure why I've got so many examples of it, but again, I've gone with yet another paint scheme, a different one from all the previous ones. This time I went with striped pants because I decided to differentiate him from the others, and I need to practice doing that. I'm really bad at painting straight lines, but I think I can get away with it on cloth because it doesn't hang absolutely straight. So I can a few squiggles can be forgiven. You can suspend your disbelief. And of course, in some periods of history, striped clothing was very common. So yeah, you see it in depictions of pirates a lot. And then we got dieser hübschen Mädchen, the Oktoberfest Fräulein, who I have painted in a color scheme which I seem to find is most common when you see depictions of Oktoberfest in Bavaria. It's a white blouse, black bodice, and red skirt, and white stockings. The most interesting thing painting-wise here was trying to paint semi-sheer stockings, so you can kind of see the skin through them, at least. But the sort of garter, or the part that holds them up, the elastic, is more solid white. Yeah, I hope I accomplished it. And it's always hard to paint beer. I don't think you can even see it. It's the interior of the mug is painted like the surface of I don't know, a very light beer. It's not metallic like the outside is. Decided not to go for a ceramic mug, but with a metal one, just to have something metallic on the mini, something that popped a little bit more. And finally, I finished the burrowing horror, who is popping up out of the ground here. I don't know, it doesn't look all that realistic, but it looks amusing, at least. And that's good enough for me. I had fun painting it, and it looks kind of dramatic. You know, there's not... The disappointing thing to me about it is that it doesn't seem like it's in motion. It doesn't seem like... I've made the stone fragments too even. It should be more. They should be tilting in different angles, and there should be different layers of them. And yeah, it shouldn't be like this perfect break. But you know, you live and you learn. Next time I do something like this, I'll do some variations on it. Perhaps, if I ever do something like this again. The one thing, apart from these, I want to note is that last week's finished mini is entered into one of these Reaper Facebook competitions. The gallery, so you can vote for them, is supposed to go up today. It hasn't gone up at the time of recording, so what I'll do is I'll edit the description of this video whenever it does go up and add a link, so you can go there and look at all the various entries and vote for the ones you like. I'm not going to say just vote for me, you know, vote your conscience. vote for the ones that you actually think are the best. As before, you can vote for multiple entries, but don't vote for all of them, because that's kind of loses the point of it. You vote by giving a thumbs up to the picture or pictures that you like, and whoever gets the most upvotes wins. Anyway, 5 minis completed this week, of which one is really big. That's a good improvement from 1 last week. It's more like my average during a working week, so I'm satisfied. And next up, works in progress. These are all the dudes that have some paint put on them, some more than others. You see the ducks here in front just a little bit started. The other assorted beast folk behind them barely started, mostly just primer. And the liches finally gotten going again done some work on the metallics mostly. It's not finished. This is early stages of the metallic work, I should point out, so you don't think anything. And these pirates are the most finished stuff. They're pretty, like 90% done, most of them. There's only a few things left, like mostly the coat on this guy, for example. And the pants haven't been touched on this one. And this one, the lady pirate here has, you know, just a few details left to finish. So, you know, the pirates I'll probably finish later today or tomorrow. And then I can see if some more stuff gets finished by next week. Probably. I don't know whether it's going to be the ducks or the liches. Let's see which ones I kind of get the feeling for most. So still in prep, we have the Froghemoth. And I have to say, this is not one of the better kits that Gale Force 9 have produced, not one of the better resin kits I've worked with. The issues with fits are pretty hefty. See, I've put together, the body comes in 2 really big parts that splits down the middle here, and the main thing visible here I think I've managed to disguise and fill pretty well. But you can see how after 3 or 4 applications of white stone liner, there's still a little gap there I have to fix. But mostly the fit was in the parts underneath, where the feet meet the legs. The fit was not good, but probably nobody's going to see that. It's a little off, but it doesn't matter that much. Worst problem is the tentacles here. I don't know if you can see, down here, the bottom part, the part that's attached to the base is much wider than the tentacle that goes into that. Again, there's going to be other tentacles attached here which are waving around in front of its face, and that'll distract the viewer and they won't peer underneath like this. This had a huge gap. I mean, I fit the other 3 connection points as well as I could, but that left a really, really big gap here, which you can see I've worked at filling. Still need to work some more at filling it. If I just used some green stuff, it would have gone faster, but I was working with this stuff on all the other parts and thought, well, let's keep doing that. And yeah, there's like more tentacles to add. These connection points will probably need to be gap filled as well. I mean, I don't know, I'm sure which one goes where. Doesn't look like the right one. Well, I'll figure it out. And one of the little stalks that sit beside the eye cluster here. This one is fine. The other one broke off. It was very fragile. It was a case of a hairline crack in the resin, which when I applied pressure to a different point of it, it broke off. So I'll have to fix this somehow. And but I'll make it work. So by next week, I'll probably have this primed and maybe some paint on it as well, hopefully. Anyway, that was all the projects that were in the works. With nothing new in the mail this week and still having a bit of a backlog, I'm gonna start up just a few new projects and taking it from an old Kickstarter again, the Stonehaven Miniatures Half-Orcs Kickstarter. So I picked out 4 figures. These are all actual Half-Orcs, like some of the ones that I've chosen to paint previously, and they are, as far as I can tell, all females. And they're very different kinds. One sort of gunslinger, who also has dual swords. And, oh, this hilt needs straightening. Anyway, someone with a kind of pole arm that also needs straightening, which is semi-oriental of some sort, I think. And with the kind of armor, it's kind of a Japanese influenced. Here we have some sort of a scholar or mage or something. And hooded. And here's somebody with just with a big old club. Also with this sort of lamellar armor. So it's a little Oni looking, a little bit Nipponese inspiration perhaps, but these are all very clear and obvious figures to paint. You can see they're all cast in one piece because they're all this old style of sculpting, which is kind of flat. It's kind of they're all kind of two-dimensional. I don't actually mind this so much because in many ways, it makes assembly a lot easier, not having to have pieces that stick out at odd angles and have to be glued in and always be afraid that they might fall off. And getting at the miniature, getting at all parts of the miniature for painting is really easy. Okay, you sacrifice the dynamism in the pose, but I feel it's a fair trade-off. Anyway, that was this week's episode. Please click like if you've gone this far with me on my journey. Also subscribe if you haven't done so before. And share the video and comment and, you know, the usual YouTube stuff. And above all, I'll be back here a week from now, same day of the week, same channel, same Dr. Jan, who's now signing off.